Leute, willkommen zur neuen Folge von Genshin Impact. Letztes Mal haben wir ein bisschen über die Vergangenheit rausgefunden, wie die Melusinen aufgenommen wurden und wie kritisch das war. Und letztes Mal haben wir auch rausgefunden, wer jetzt der Täter ist. Und er findet sich halt in Fort Meropid und versteckt sich hinter den Mauern hier oder den Gewässern oder den Tiefen der Gewässern, wie auch immer. Und wir sind jetzt halt hier mit Neuvillette und werden das aufklären. Und da sehe ich auch schon für Torsli. Goddammit, ich kann diesen Namen nicht. Bei Rosli.
Welcome to the fortress of Meropid, dear esteemed guests.
Hallo.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself!
Ja.
Guess we've made a name for ourselves at this place.
Oh ja.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up.
Yep.
Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase.
Okay, das gefällt mir. Du erzählst für Torsli, dass seine Medizin einen Drohbrief erhalten hat.
I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Okay.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing came of it.
Ich glaub nicht.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melusines, is he? To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else going on behind the scenes here?
Wahrscheinlich ein paar mehr.
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person and have my questions answered.
Okay.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at...
Wo?
Did I hear someone say Melusine?
Oh, Sequenz, hallo.
Sequenz!
Eine Melusine namens Chiara hat einen Drohbrief erhalten.
Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned here. Really? Is Chiara gonna be okay?
Ich glaube schon. Wie
There's no
gesagt,
need
Clara.
to worry.
Ja, voilà.
Clarand is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there anything you can do about this?
Gute Frage.
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the
Ich
criminal?
glaube nicht, dass das so gut wäre für den Typen.
Wisely.
Wisely.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Wisely. Ja.
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns.
Okay.
Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa. If Paimon were you here, Grace, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that.
Wahrscheinlich schon.
But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you.
Okay,
Make
danke.
yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Okay, kein Problem. Wir können dann ruhig ein bisschen mit Sequenz reden.
Please come with me to
Und
the
das in der Klinik
infirmary.
sogar. Okay. Und eben, ein bisschen mit ihr reden. Bis dann, Rosli mit, Dings, mit dem Täter kommt. Das ist mit Domenico. So. Okay. Ich finde es cool, wie viele Charaktere sie in die Quest hier involvieren. Wir hatten Charlotte, Flora, Sequenz, Rosli. Jetzt würde eigentlich schon noch die drei von ZOWIE, also halt Lene, Lynette und Dings, Fremenien, dann hätten wir ja den ganzen Cast. Navia ist ja auch noch da gewesen. Nur noch Florina fällt mir ein und noch alle China. Okay, wie China eingebaut könnte, vielleicht per Namen, aber jetzt nicht wirklich
Please
präsent.
rest here for a moment.
Okay.
Oh, and would anyone like anything to drink?
Ähm,
Paimon's not
Ach
that
so.
thirsty, but thanks anyway.
okay, nein.
Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
Typical Sequenz. Concerned about everyone's health as always.
Yep.
Why aren't you two saying anything?
Die Häftlinge, an denen wir gerade vorbeigekommen sind.
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Oh?
Familiar?
Das gar nicht bemerkt mal.
Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them.
Ja, ich bin auf Paimons Seite, ich habe gar nichts mitbekommen.
But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
Paimon und ich werden da fragen.
That's not a bad idea. I will stay here and wait for news from you.
Okay. Hä, ich habe das mal gar nicht bemerkt. War das offensichtlich oder ist es jetzt auf ein Detail, was man nicht wirklich bemerkt direkt? Okay. Also, oh, ups, falsche Richtung. Hier hin. Also hier anscheinend. Ich nehme an, wahrscheinlich kommt ihm das bekannt vor, was wahrscheinlich die Zeichen sind, die wahrscheinlich die ältere Anti-Melusinen-Gruppen hatte. Ja, wir haben das gleiche. Hallo.
Interested in joining the mutual aid network?
Gegenseitige Hilfe,
If you'd
okay.
like to learn more, here's our flyer.
Sich gegenseitig helfen, gemeinsam Krisen zu bewältigen. Nichts unverursacht lassen, um die Gerechtigkeit durchzusetzen. Faire Gerichtsprozesse dürfen nicht verabscheut werden. Die 3 oben genannten Punkte sind die grundsätzlichen Leitlinien der Gesellschaft für gegenseitige Hilfe. Der Beitritt zur Gesellschaft für gegenseitige Hilfe steht jedem offen. Es müssen keine Gebühren entrichtet werden und es gibt auch keine fakultativen Gruppenaktivitäten. Die Gesellschaft für gegenseitige Hilfe ermutigt ein Mitglied zu Dingen, die im Rahmen ihrer Möglichkeit liegen, und dazu zählen unter anderem auf einige Initiativen aufzuräumen, Ertüchtigung zu betreiben, zu lehren und zu lernen. Wir hoffen, dass alle Mitglieder der Gesellschaft für gegenseitige Hilfe in ihrer Zeit im Fortnite der Schuld, die sie auf sich geladen haben, offen ins Auge sehen. Wir ermuntern einander, unterstützen einander und blicken gemeinsam in die Zukunft. Okay.
Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained unchanged.
Und das wäre?
Here, this book is for you. You're welcome to come and sign up anytime.
Okay. Bisher noch nichts allzu Verdächtiges.
Anything you need?
Über das Abzeichen, das du trägst.
Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the mutual aid network?
What's that?
Ja, was ist das genau
We
jetzt?
have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago.
Okay. Es ist die Frage, ist das dann einfach eine Organisation, die vielleicht gebildet wurde, um in der Öffentlichkeit als gut zu wirken, aber irgendwo ihren Hass gegen die Melusinen nochmal vertritt?
We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do
etwas
we have
anderes.
much of a reputation, but everyone treats each other like family.
Okay.
Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to maintain just dealings as much as possible.
Okay.
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress.
Ja.
But people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Okay. Ich bleib, glaube ich, sehr skeptisch mal. Und du? Was hast du zu sagen?
You two look kind of familiar.
Das kann gut sein. Über das Abzeichen, das du trägst.
It's the symbol of the mutual aid network designed by our first president.
Und der wäre?
From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself, though.
Der erste Präsident, und soll inspiriert sein, weil das war Turin, der eine, wo ausgeholfen hat vor 400 Jahren.
The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against anyone. He
Okay.
encouraged the weaker criminals to stick together and look out for each other.
Okay.
All of us have a lot of respect for him.
Das klingt mir nach dem alten
Enough
Dings.
information. Let's
Ups.
get back into
Sorry, Paimon. Erzähl mir, was da rausgefunden ist, weil es klingt so, als wäre Wotaron oder wie auch immer er hieß. Es nenne ich einfach WoW. Weil halt W-A-U die ersten 3 Buchstaben sind. Scheint so, als wäre er der Gründer gewesen von dieser Organisation.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
Ja, aber nicht, dass wir schon erwartet haben.
Award the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
Ja.
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol in Vautrin.
Vautrin, voilà.
Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remains should belong to Vautrin.
Und er ist der Gründer von dieser Organisation.
Oh, so the network was inspired by... Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
Okay.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this situation.
Okay, machen wir dann. Aber okay, das heißt, Vautrin steckt hinter der Gründung. Ich frag mich, was für eine Rolle das jetzt spielt. Weil er war ja selbst eigentlich nicht gegen die Dings, gegen die Melusine. Das heißt, normalerweise ist diese Gruppe dann auch nicht melusinisch. Oder Melusin. Anti-Melusin. Da frage ich mich jetzt doch, was für eine Rolle diese Gruppe spielen wird. Weil irgendwas muss es ja machen. Sonst wäre es ja nicht schneller Quest, sonst wäre es sehr irrelevant. Okay.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman.
Das, fine gentleman, das klingt ja schon super.
Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette?
Hallo, du.
What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Ich glaub nicht.
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
Yep.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Okay, also ist er schon zugestanden. Gut.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case.
Yep.
I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
Das kann gut sein.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
Warum? Und was bist du bitte verwickelt?
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return.
Okay, klingt doch ganz normal.
After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Maréchaussée Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial.
Okay.
But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
Das heißt, er wurde eingesperrt wegen Dings, wegen etwas, was er nicht gemacht hat, okay.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melusines? Over that?
Unwissenheit ist keine Ausrede.
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all.
Ja, das war.
So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? If I could get them to strike back. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melusines to salvage things. I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family.
Oh, das hast du dann eSIM
The letter was in fact addressed to
gecheckt.
Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force her to resign from the Maréchaussée Phantom.
Hat aber sie eigentlich gar nicht beeinträchtigt. Sie hat ja es sogar vergessen.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
Das heißt, es agiert irgendeine Gruppe im Schatten noch irgendwo anders außerhalb von Formerpede.
No.
Is
Okay.
it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Ich glaube nicht, oder?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Okay, doch. Okay.
Siegewien, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later.
Okay. Dann frage ich mich, wer jetzt der Täter doch ist. Also er hat natürlich auch Schuld dran.
You were
Mit dem
concerned that
Drohbrief,
there
das
might
hätten
be
wir
a shadowy
geklärt.
faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melusines to stir up greater chaos?
Gute Frage.
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
Ja,
And how long ago was this incident?
400 Jahre.
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
Ist auch wieder
What do
wahr.
you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melusines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society.
Aber jetzt inzwischen ist es mehr als mehr als normal. Also es ist normal, ja.
But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melusines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing.
Ja,
I trust that they would make different choices from before.
das haben wir auch gemerkt beim Opernhaus.
That's right. We saw lots of people people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Voilà.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you.
Okay.
When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice.
Okay.
For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on.
Ja, das war.
People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law.
Ja, ist wirklich ein Symbol des Gesetzes, wenn man schaut, was schon so lange macht.
Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Auch wenn es minimal ist, aber diese ganz kleinen Stücke haben sich über so eine lange Zeit angesammelt.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
Eine solche Tragödie wird nie wieder passieren.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties.
Aber das ist relativ gut.
It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
Okay.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
Ja, wie wir beide zum
I
Beispiel.
must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Avery Rossley und seine verdammte Tasse Tee immer.
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me.
Ja, okay.
The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have two more things to say.
Und die wären?
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ja.
I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Mermonia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Okay.
Well, that makes things a lot easier.
Willst du etwa...
Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild.
Was hast du vor?
Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
Okay.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
Gute Frage.
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is
Jo.
that right?
Yep. Neuvillette thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand
Ja.
up for what was right.
Schon ein gutes Ziel zu verfolgen.
I've looked into their founder, Tränen, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress.
Yep.
According to existing documentation, Tränen remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression.
Okay, sehr gut.
In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What?
Hegt er keinen Groll gegen Neuvillette?
During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Huh.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
Und warum?
An act?
Ja, warum das denn?
Neuvillette and Tränen had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Tränen must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment.
Ja.
Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice.
Das heißt, er hat eine Show vorgespielt, damit die Gerechtigkeit gut dasteht, sozusagen,
And to
wie
those
so
who had been
Neuvillette.
sitting on the fence,
Huh.
Tränen's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
Ich glaube nicht.
I don't have anything to say. Apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
Okay. Dann machen wir das. Gut, dass diese ganzen Sachen dann geklärt sind.
Please, take care.
Yep, machen wir. Tschüss. Okay, und wir gehen, glaube ich, automatisch nicht vor dem Ort, wo wir jetzt hin müssen, wahrscheinlich. Aber okay, das hat sich doch relativ ruhig, ja, beruhigt. Gott, entschuldigt. Ui. Frage, es gibt dann keine Szene, wo man kämpft oder so? Weil sonst gibt es ja immer so normalerweise eine Szene, wo man dann links ihn spielen kann. Aber das ist mal etwas anderes.
I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin.
Na, das kann ich mir denken.
The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
Ja.
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me.
Und das wäre?
I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things.
Und das wäre?
I would like to hear your thoughts too. What do you think of me?
Ganz viele Sachen. Also positive Sachen.
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine.
Ja.
What do you think, Traveler? Hey, any comments?
Ja, einen Moment.
What I really think is...
Oh.
Every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
Als Hydra betrachtet Neuvillette sich aufgrund seiner Idee immer noch als Außenseiter. Aber nach so vielen Jahren sind die Grenzen zwischen ihm und den Menschen vielleicht schon längst verschwommen.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption.
Huh.
As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself.
Ja.
But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person.
Ja.
These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself.
Okay.
I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Gerne.
Oh. Huh? It's raining! Oh no! Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past. Good morning, Monsieur
you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Was für eine wunderschöne Sequenz, ey. Wow. Das war, glaube ich, eine der besten Legenden-Quest-Dings auch. Wieder mal. Ja, ist es. Und warum seid ihr da auf einmal viel versammelt?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Ryzen said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusine should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Ja.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
Kein Problem, glaube ich.
to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
Ja, wo ist sie überhaupt?
At
Stimmt.
the Palais Mermonia. More than 50 people offered to protect
Oh, wow.
her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger.
Oh, wie geil.
I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy. So I asked her to stay inside the Palais.
Okay.
It's
Oh.
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled.
Yep.
To celebrate this joyous occasion, Monsieur Neuvillette, would you be interested in
Natürlich
an
praktisch, schade.
exclusive interview?
Ich hoffe mal.
That's not how you celebrate.
I will consider it.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month.
Nice.
Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Das ist sehr gut. Ich glaube, Chalop und Lex hat aufgehört zu funktionieren.
Yes! Thank you so much, Monsieur!
Okay, Restart hat funktioniert.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation results.
Okay.
I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
Okay, jetzt ist das nochmal ins Palais Mermonia und ich glaube, da wird es wahrscheinlich dann enden mit der Quest. Aber okay, richtig cool. Also ich muss sagen, diese Cutscene war super schön. Ich habe so Probleme für nachher ein Thumbnail dazu zu finden für diese Folge dann, weil ich definitiv natürlich auf die Sequenz dann der beruhe dann für da einzufinden. Das wird schwer. Ich habe schon ein paar Ideen, aber sonst im Ganzen, die Quest war mal auch wieder so etwas anderes. Wir hatten nicht wieder so dieses typische Schema, wo dass wir einmal wieder kämpfen und alles und dann auch etwas machen. Aber nein, dieses Mal haben wir sogar ohne Kämpfnis gemacht und alles und hatte so geile Sachen wie mit dem Rückblick der Vergangenheit. Alles so cool. Da schläft jemand ganz tief.
Kiara?
Monsieur Neuvillette? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
Alles gut, keine
It's
Sorgen.
quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Okay.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
Das freut mich zu hören.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, so I easily forget things.
Okay.
By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now.
Oh.
Where's she gone, by the way? I haven't seen her in a long time.
Keine Ahnung.
In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, Kiara, our dreams have finally come true. I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
Oh, das freut mich zu
I
hören.
can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Ja.
Monsieur Neuvillette, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot. Am I allowed to
Jo,
go out now?
ich würde mal sagen,
I promised to
gibt dir keine Gefahr mehr. Stimmt, das ist ja noch mal dein Kleid.
Off you go.
So. Ja.
See you next time, Monsieur
Kleidungsstück, voilà.
Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.
Bye bye. Was das? Das war's. Die Spuren der Vergangenheit bleiben. Auftrag abgeschlossen. Ja, damit hätten wir das abgeschlossen. Jetzt steht hier auch noch Neuvillette. Aber antwortet. Hat Furine geantwortet? Aus persönlichen Gründen verreist, in einem Tag zurück sein. Furinas Antwort. Persönliche Gründe? Oh je. Ist unserem obersten Richter endlich ein Licht aufgegangen? Ich hatte schon vor langer Zeit gesagt, er sollte zu meinem Beispiel folgen, öfter rauszugehen, näher an das Volk heranzukommen. Selbst wenn etwas Bedauerliches passieren könnte, würde man unterwegs sicherlich auf viele einzigartige Seelen treffen. Was denkst du? Die menschliche Welt ist doch ziemlich interessant, nicht wahr? Okay. Aber ich würde sagen, hier beenden wir die Folge mit dieser geilen Quest. Aber dann, danke fürs Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Mir hat es sehr gefallen. Bis dann beim nächsten Mal. Tschüss!